And so all they knew was tease and challenge and torments and pressures. They thought they were pressuring you for your own good, but it was just pressure everywhere. And so you were naturally vulnerable to it. You were born subject to it, and subject to wrong parents who didn't protect you. And so it was inevitable that it would get to you. And it did. It got to you. All right, so that's what happens to everybody. So the answer is to re-find what you had before you fell. And fortunately, you can do that. You re-find God. You re-find that heavenly state of mind. You come under His wing, under His protection, and you become subject to Him so that He is your Lord and you are in His kingdom. And now the tormenting things, you're not theirs anymore. See, you're born subject. See, you were born, the whole world. It says in the Bible somewhere that I don't know, it says something about the devil. The whole world, it belongs to Satan. Except for those who, because of a love of truth and a yearning for it, seek, and God sees that seeking, and He answers. And then, instead of doubting what you know in your heart, now you believe it. See, when you were a little kid, you knew what was right in your heart. And you knew, when you saw injustice, you just knew it was. And so on. You knew all that, but you doubted it. And then eventually you dragged kicking and screaming to the world. And then you began to think, well, maybe taking drugs and partying and getting yours and fooling other people and getting over on them and living for the moment and all that kind of stuff. You began to think, well, maybe that is the way. So you went along with it, but you never felt right about it. And you never really and truly felt that was the way. You always wanted the other way to be the way. You wanted the other way, the good way, to be the way, what you knew in your heart, what you loved. When you were a child and you read the fairy tales, and there was the noble knight and the beautiful princess, and they had courage and honor and love. And you wanted to be that way, and you loved that. But somehow it wasn't happening in your life. So you suffered, but God saw it. And then He rescues you. So, but what I want you to see is that when you become subject to Him, then you're no longer subject to that other stuff. And it is forced to leave you alone. God puts up a shield, and they know that you are His. Yeah, they may still try a little this and that. They will. But you catch them, and they scurry away very quickly because they cannot bear the light. And they are subject to God. You saw Jesus when He encountered demons. He commanded them. He said, "Come out." He asked them, "What is your name?" They had to answer. He said, "Come out." They didn't want to. But they had to. Because see, he came to tell us of this kingdom. And he is Lord of this good kingdom. God made him Lord. Then you'll be subject to him. And to hell with all the negative stuff. And suddenly, all the stuff. See, when you were a little kid, yeah, see, they took advantage of the fact that you were vulnerable, that you were innocent, that you wanted to please them, and you wanted to be kind and so on. They took advantage of that. But now you're not a little kid anymore. Now you see what they're up to. So you don't hate them. See, that would be the mistake. See, that was the other mistake you made. That increased. See, then not only were you tormented by them, by it, whatever it is, but you were also tormented by guilt mostly for hating people. See, hating your mom, hating your dad, hating the other kids. Now you let that all go. You don't hate anymore. So here they come with something, some tease, some challenge, and it goes in one ear and out the other. Some negative thing in your mind, you notice it, and it's not credible anymore. See? So, that's what I wanted to say to you today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I want you to see that there is a beautiful kingdom. You just have to find it and become subject to God. That's what it is. And how do you become subject to him? Well, you yearn for him, and you ask him, and you don't hate people anymore. Those are the ways. And you try to be noble and brave. And if somebody's mean, you don't hate them. And if somebody's doing something that's not right, you see them being mean to somebody or something, and you say, hey, knock it off. See? And you start to speak up for yourself a little bit. You show a little bit of courage. God likes that. Just little tiny things. No, you don't go into the office and tell the boss off. No, of course not. You don't go down the worst part of town and say, hey, stop dealing drugs. No, you don't do that. That'd be foolish. But some little thing. Like I've always said, I've given this example 1,000 times, but I'm just going to do it again. Because I really can't. I wish I could think of better ones, but it's the only one that comes to mind. And it's so simple that it makes it clear. You're standing in line, whatever line you want. You're at Noah's Bagels. You're going to get your bagel and coffee in the morning. You're standing in line. Somebody cuts in front of you. You say, excuse me, I was here first. Thank you very much. See? That's not a big thing, but you're showing some courage, a little bit of courage to do about what's right. You're not angry at them. It's not your ego. It's just what's right. You see? That's all. All right. I hope you enjoyed this little video. And until next time, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.